Hello there. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about self-talk, that voice that's in your head and that sometimes screams and not very useful things at you. When I started looking into this, it's remarkable. Years and years ago, you can see that in the Middle Ages, they used to have this concept of the homunculus, the idea that it was a little man of course, but there's a little man inside your head that's actually driving you like a machine. And I think it was in the Middle Ages, and actually referenced, I think as early as ancient Greece, was the idea that people were aware of the fact that even as they spoke and had thoughts about the words they were saying, there was another voice in their head that wasn't necessarily on the same page. And so they started to think that maybe there's someone inside their head driving them like a machine. And it's a really brilliant illustration, I suppose. Not really a great metaphor for the mind-brain duality thing as we understand it now, which is not a huge amount as far as I can tell. But anyway, self-talk. Most of you, if you're anything like me, will have that voice in your head that tells you that you're too stupid, too incapable, that you always make these mistakes. It'll be a constant accompaniment, and very rarely a useful one. And so rather than talk to you about the etiology of it and where it comes from and all this other stuff, I thought you can treat it like feedback. And at APS we have like this feedback model that has proved really useful to a lot of clients. And I don't have time to go through all of the different questions that are part of it, but there are a number of them, 6 or 7 questions that you ask yourself about feedback that helps you understand if it's actually feedback, if it's actually useful, and how you can use it. And I just want to go through a few of those questions right now. The first one is it real? So when that voice in your head says you're the worst person in the world, you're the worst cock, and nobody's ever loved you, and whatever else, these are the kind of things that whilst they can really wear on you and make you feel small and question yourself, they aren't real. And if you put them through that filter, is this real? You realize that's not real. It's hyperbole. It's an exaggeration. Not useful, not feedback. Is it shared? Is another one of the questions. Are there people who you really respect and who have an authentic connection to you, whether that be love or an authentic collegial connection that matters, who also believe the same? And usually that's a far more measured thing that they believe. And if it's true that it's shared, it might be something to take on board. If you think around and you realize nobody else thinks this about me, then it's not real and it's not shared and it doesn't pass the test. One of the questions we have for this feedback model that's most important is this. Is it cruel? Is it cruel? Is that voice in your head cruel? Because feedback is never cruel. Feedback can hurt. It most certainly wounds to hear that, to have your essay ripped apart, to have your speech, my company turning our stuff into virtual. I've been going through these rounds of my brilliant ideas being shredded. And that does hurt, but the difference is it wounds me, but it's constructive. It is not designed to hurt me, and that's a difference. If the voice in your head is trying to hurt you, that's cruel. It's not feedback. You can dismiss it.